Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Om Institution Yogi Ramsuratkumar Ashram is Holy Father's work. People will remember this institution for centuries and centuries. And so many times this beggar has told, anybody who enters the gate of this ashram is blessed by Father. Blessed are the people who have entered this institution.
In the dark ages of Kali Yuga, when wrath, greed, and deviation from the divine are common, there is one silver lining. It is easier than ever to reach God if we want to. The divine beggar, the God child, the very embodiment of everlasting enlightenment, Bhagwan Yogi Ramsuratkumar holds court in the temple town of Tiruvannamalai, curing diseases with a single word. The slight curve of his lips in a breathtaking smile would vanquish the fears in our hearts. A strong pat on the shoulders of the humble would wash away their sins. A simple gesture such as him raising his hand would pour down blessings. God revealed himself to us in the form of Bhagwan Yogi Ramsuratkumar to breathe the freshness of devotion and Guru Bhakti into the lives of thousands of devotees, and in order to ease the indescribable suffering of the world. Bhagavan Yogi Ramsuratkumar's ashram acts as a refuge from the chaos of the world into the nurturing arms of divinity. When the cleansing waters of the Ganga flows within our reach, is it not wise to wash our sins with purifying Guru Bhakti? Let us begin now and take our first steps through the journey of Yogi Ramsuratkumar's ashram and bathe in the downpour of his blessings. We are now looking at Chengam Road in Tiruvannamalai. This is where Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi Ashram is located. The road bustles with life and energy as we proceed further into the street opposite that brings us a step closer to Yogi Ramsuratkumar Ashram. We see an arch indicating the direction, beckoning us further into the arms of Bhagavan. We proceed down this road and turn right at the small crossroads. We walk a few more meters and we will arrive at the impressive site of the Ashram Entrance, where an artfully sculpted stone arch welcomes us. As we look at it, we see the stone arch is embellished with various objects associated with Bhagavan. These objects have a greater significance than is revealed at first glance. His coconut shell is the symbol of Akshaya Patra, the legendary vessel of abundance to feed the entire world. His palmyra leaf fan, to the eyes of a casual observer, seems like a mere tool for cool air, but it is actually a Sudarshana chakra that drives away our sins with its divine brilliance. As we continue walking in, we see the buildings Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri, Saraswati and Yogiram on the right-hand side. These are the accommodation spaces provided by the ashram for the comfortable stay of devotees. To the left is the Yogi Ramsuratkumar Vidyalaya Nursery and Primary School, a temple of learning. It was instituted 1 year after Bhagavan's Mahasamadhi. The school started with humble beginnings, with just 3 classes from pre-KG to first grade and a few students. It has grown now to accommodate classes up to the 5th grade and provides education for over 160 students, with free education for many underprivileged children. The service to society continues from here. On the second Sunday of every month, a free medical camp is conducted for the poor and needed as mandated by Bhagavan in 1999. Upon entering the ashram, one immediately feels peace. As Bhagavan has repeatedly said, anyone entering this ashram is blessed by Father. To the left, we see Bhagavan's photo with him adorning his affectionate smile, welcoming devotees into the ashram. Adjoining it is a little stall selling pictures, books, and trinkets of Bhagavan, and the monthly ashram magazine. To the right is the Ashram Office, where one can get information regarding ashram events, accommodation, and make donations. Our footwear is left in the stand near the office before we proceed further. To the right is the Yagasale, where Sadhu Bhojan, offering food to the sadhus, happens every afternoon. This too, like the medical camp, was started by Bhagavan in July 1999 and continues to serve society with the generous support of the public. We now see a black marble pillar which was commissioned by Sri Justice Arunachalam, the spiritual successor and head of the ashram. It was installed on the eve of Bhagavan's 100th birthday celebrations by Maharanyam Sri Sri Murlidhara Swamiji in the auspicious presence of Pujya Sri Sri Nityananda Giri Swamiji on March 6, 2018. This pillar is to reflect the glory of Bhagwan Yogi Ramsuratkumar as long as the sun and moon exist. The ashram established a library which houses various books on spirituality. There are quotes and sayings of Bhagavan on the blue boards throughout the ashram grounds. Just before we enter the ashram Pradhan Mandir, we can see a board detailing the daily ashram schedule and pujas. Welcoming us into the Pradhan Mandir is a statue of Yogi Ramsuratkumar on the left and one of Ganesh on the right. The moment we enter the Pradhan Mandir, we see a magnificent statue of Bhagavan sculpted by the renowned sculptor Sri Kalasagare Rajagopal. It was installed on December 18, 2019 by Bhagavan himself, who declared, "This statue is not of this beggar, it is my father's statue." Afterwards, he proceeded to circumambulate the statue and offered pranams at his feet. He declared that whoever circumambulates the statue of his father and offers prayers would receive boundless grace from his father. No words are able to capture the magnificence of Bhagavan. How can your divine brilliance, as bright as 1,000 suns, ever be described? How can one communicate your infectious laughter? All the languages in the world cannot put your grace into words. How many births worth of punya will we need to be placed at your lotus feet? With your magnetic personality and an intellect as sharp as a tact, Your eyes contain the light of the entire universe. This infectious laughter looks deep into our souls, beyond our human frailties, surrendering us to his lotus feet. Near the main statue of Bhagavan is another lifelike statue of him made of wax fibers. It has been installed in the Pradhan Mandir hut, in the very place Bhagavan used to sit during the construction of the ashram.
Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
In the south-facing area of the ashram, you will see the Mahasamadhi shrine of Bhagavan. There is a Shiva Lingam there. Various practices such as chanting of Vedic hymns, performing abhishekas, decorating the Lord with flowers, clothing, and arati are being conducted every day. The physical body of Bhagavan is buried and rests in a seated position directly below the Shiva Lingam. During the construction of the ashram, every attempt to lower the roof trusses onto the foundation ended in failure. Bhagavan then instructed this picture of his to be brought and the lamp to be lit before attempting again. With his blessings, the trusses easily landed onto the foundation. From that day on, the lamp remains to be lit as instructed by Bhagavan. End of the Pradhan Mandir is a 3-roomed building called the Siddhi Sthalam, where Bhagavan attained Siddhi. It houses Bhagavan's pictures, his belongings, and the medical implements used for his treatment. Outside, we see a small building which houses the ambassador cow which Bhagavan used for his daily travels. We progress further south and see a small hut christened by Bhagavan as the breakfast hut. This hut is of great significance, as all important decisions regarding the construction and design of the ashram were made here by Bhagavan. Walking across the ashram, we come to another hall. This small hall was first completed in the construction and christened Grace by Bhagavan. This hall now serves food to devotees who come to the ashram. We then reach a gated area for ashram residents, where there are 10 cottages. For each cottage, there was a housewarming ceremony conducted on specific dates as mandated by Bhagavan. Bhagavan said, "Food alone is God for those who are hungry." For all devotees who visit the ashram, prasad meals are provided in the morning and noon in the Amudam dining hall, found on the right side of the main entrance gate. This efficient and effective service is very popular for many devotees who happily take part in this noble venture. A small bowl of prasad is given to anyone visiting the Pradhan Mandir from 6 o'clock in the morning to 8 p.m. at night. Bhagavan has always said, "Prasad is not just food or objects, it is my Father's grace." We are now looking at the place where Tulabharam is given in the ashram. Devotees come here to give Tulabharam when their prayers have been fulfilled. This is an ancient ritual where devotees sit on one side of the ceremonial balance and offer his or her weight equivalents as an offering, such as coconuts, etc., to God. It symbolically represents the devotee offering himself to the Lord. The Hall of Mahatmas has been instituted in the Swagat Mandap. On the ground floor of the Swagatam is a meditation hall open to those seeking introspection and meditation. On the first floor is the large hall with the glass overlook into the ashram's Pradhan Mandir. It is said, where cows are treated fairly and taken care of, Goddess Lakshmi is forever present. In our ashram too, there is a Goshala where cows are taken care of with regular and proper cow worship. Around 8 months before his Mahasamadhi, Bhagavan personally oversaw the construction and establishment of Devaki Veda Pachala, where the Rig and Yajur Vedas are now being taught. It was officially opened on June 28, 2012 by Maharanyam Sri Sri Murlidhara Swamiji. The Ashram Girivanam path is a path which goes around the entire ashram. The simple path is actually a boon in disguise. It is an example of Bhagavan's grace to those who are unable to take the traditional 14-kilometer Girivalam around Mount Arunachala. Bhagavan himself said that 5 circumambulations of the Ashram Girivalam path has the same benefits as the traditional Girivalam.
Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
What we see here is found on the Girivalam path next to the Veda Pachala. This stone is a place where Bhagavan used to feed 2 malnourished and scared dogs. Bhagavan asked his disciples to preserve this stone since it signifies how a dog never leaves his master. In the same way, a master never leaves his disciple either, who has followed him faithfully as a dog does.
Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya.
Our salutations and pranams to Ma Devaki, the living embodiment of devotion to one's Guru, and to Bhagavan Yogi Ramsuratkumar, who is a boundless and limitless ocean of grace. We submit our humble efforts towards making this video at Bhagavan's lotus feet. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.
Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar,